taking the piss out of him.
Yeah.
About obviously being homeless for no reason, like giving them like small amounts of money. I think it was like 5p or something.
Yeah.
And then subsequently, a girl came and was like, "Let me help you."
Yeah.
And everyone was on that because obviously she set up the GoFundMe page, etc.
Yeah.
And then people, I think you got like 25k off it. But now I think it's now someone said, I think there was a video last night, I can't remember what it was, that where someone was like, "Oh, he's not getting this money now. There's a
oh wait, it was him himself, because I saw like the girl responded. She was like, what he meant by that is someone set up like was it like Cash App or some shit?
It's something like because he's had addiction in the past.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Oh no, but you know he's saying like oh he's not like getting the money. It's because there was like a Cash App going around that was like pretending to be him.
Is it?
Yeah. And then that's what she said he was talking about, but.
I didn't know that. Well, I think it's obviously because I saw something else. You know that the Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Page, that nothing's happened from that. They like got 1 million. No one's seen anything being done about that.
Yeah.
So I think people are a bit.
I did see someone say like I don't know. I think the girl's name like Stella or something. Yeah. They're like, "Oh, you guys want to know what Stella's doing with the money, but you don't care about Black Lives Matter because that's got like over 1 million." which is true to be fair. Like, why are you questioning it? But
taking over the running of it. That's what's happening.
No, but I don't know. Like, I think we said this last time. You've got to trust people. You can't be questioning every minute where it's going. Like,
people just want these things to be happening for outrage. They want to be outraged by something. Right. That's the problem, and that's why everyone's wanting it to go wrong.
And my thing is, if she's gone out of her way to make it such like a social media thing to say, "Oh, I'm going to support him this way," the likelihood of her taking the money running off and getting away with that. Like, she could do it, but
she's on socials. We know who she is. Why would she try and
do that? She did it for her socials. Like, it wasn't like she just made the account.
It's because he was staying in a hotel, innit? But what do you expect him to be?
Yeah,
she's not going to help. Like, she's not going to help him straight.
I think he's even. He was in a hotel. Yeah, that's why paid for by like another charity.
Yeah, but that's why people are like, "Oh, he's a scammer." But obviously, he's got attention now, so it's gonna be people are gonna be trying to help him more. Right? Why would he still be on the?
My thing is, you've donated money to get him out of the streets. So what? You wanted to sit on the streets until.
That's what I'm saying too. Like, people 30k.
It makes no sense.
That's what I'm saying.
A 30k is not gonna get you a house.
People are just loving it. Like, they're loving just for no reason trying to cause. And
it makes no sense to it. Like, what did you expect? You just gonna get 30k and like. If it was £1 million and you still didn't have a house, I'd be like, fair enough, like, what's going on here? But 30k is not that much, isn't it? Like, it is a lot.
They are looking after him. His mum's like sorting something out for him.
Yeah, I saw that.
Rehab,
and like, she didn't want to like look after the money. But
you got a trim as well, so obviously people must be but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's getting looked after.
People are helping him, so why are you questioning? Oh, where's the money? Like, do you know what I mean? Why is he in the hotel? Obviously, people are now.
The thing is, if you donated money, you actually wanted to be like a nice person. So now you can't be then demanding what you want to have with money.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't donate to Oxfam and then get vexed if they spend all something else. And like,
I mean,
you should trust and believe that they're going to do the right
questionable things, but
yeah.
Anyway, episode 2 of the On Record podcast with myself, Henry, and Luke. Obviously just talking on the situation of the Stormzy lookalike. Hope obviously that guy gets.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll get out
at some point because that would be a bit of a peak situation. Anyway, what we want to talk about today is kind of media and obviously what's been happening in Greece with the refugees. I actually saw someone tweet something about that Italy or the Italian government apparently they're selling or buying, the slaves that were in Libya at the time. Apparently they're using them to do like fruit picking and that, or
I saw that. And they're actually like everyone in Europe knows and stuff. I saw like the UK government knows.
Of course they know though. Of course they know.
Yeah, well, the thing, like, they know about, like, the Chinese, like, Muslims that are in that concentration camp, they know about all these things.
As long as it benefits them, to be honest, I don't really think it's gonna...
They're not getting involved in it, like...
No, of course not. But the maddest thing is, see the Greece thing, like, how can... you know what, obviously we're gonna talk later about the whole BBC situation again, same as last week kind of thing, but them, the way they report in general, but it's actually mad how they've gone out and on a boat,
as if it's like...
As if it's like, I don't even know what, like, chasing.
You know what I mean? It's not like a Hollywood film, innit? Like, that's what got me angry, because I saw it on TV before I even went on Twitter. I was thinking, right, so you see them, because they were like, the boat's slowly sinking, or so thinking, like, but you're sat there filming them with the boat sinking instead of saying, like, right, let's get them on this boat, save their life, and what happened, like, do you know what I mean? Like, at least get them to land, and if then the UK government wants to step in.
What, 2 days later, now in Greece, they're saying they've thrown them into the sea.
Yeah.
What is the BBC reporting on that?
I didn't see the BBC report on that one.
No, they haven't. I don't think they have.
Yeah.
I can check, but
I think it was like what?
they probably have now because of all the social media outrage.
Yeah.
But,
I don't think they should still have.
They probably
But
will.
then I don't think they will report on it. If I'm gonna be honest with you.
Why would
if the BBC report on that, if like you're like ITV or something reports on it, then like the government's got to step in. Do you know what I mean? Like, if that makes sense. When it's on social media and like it's come from like what was it like Daily Mail or something? You don't have to like believe. Everyone knows not to believe like tabloid papers and stuff to the full extent. But when the news starts reporting it, you're gonna get outrage and people are like, well, we need to do something. So if anything, the UK government has probably just told them like, just look off.
It's mad though, like how much they are influenced by the government. I'm guessing because you see with Sky News as well, how biased they are and deliberate they are in what they say.
But that's I think anyone that's even learned like media or anything, like you learn like straight away that certain newspapers and like media tabloids are owned by like support one particular party. They're not owned by that party, but like Rupert Murdoch. I was watching the thing the other day and it was like saying how he basically influenced like the UK elections, so like how he got Labour out into because he switched his favour. So obviously he owned like all the big newspapers. If they all start supporting the Conservatives, you're only reading that newspaper, you're gonna be like, fair.
I hear that. Well,
so
that's a bit mad.
If anything, I don't think the UK government's. I think the media's probably got more control than the UK government because whatever they want to release and spin it, essentially that's where you get your knowledge from, isn't it?
When I'm looking at BBC's like obviously Twitter, they're not even saying anything about this Greece situation, which is mad.
But then I'm thinking, where did it? I don't remember who it came from.
It's come from just like a report. Greece on alert. Turkey sends survey ship to dispute. That's 6 days. That was a week. That's nothing to do with. They're not talking about basically because they don't want to. And I'm sure there's people.
There's argument like where does this facts come from?
The Greece situation.
Yeah.
That's true. But then
because the fact is, if they've got that information, they've known about it and done nothing either. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
That's what I'm saying. So they can't always like. I'm not gonna say I doubt I'm not doubting them, but also I still need a bit more facts than me just being like, oh yeah, that's what the newspaper said. Let me believe it. Innit? I mean, if you believe everything they said,
there's pictures of these people in the water.
Yeah, but when were they taken? They can be taken when they were.
That's just the case of you believing.
That's what I'm saying. So you can't always believe everything that they tell you because if you believe everything that they tell you, then do you mean you believe a lot of mad stuff in it? Like.
But then I hear that. But the way they're reporting now about the A levels as well it's a bit mad too because they're not really. And I've seen protests about this, but I don't really feel like the BBC are now kind of jumping on it as if it's been them. Like kind of.
I'll be lying if I say I follow the BBC. I've stopped like.
Do you know what it is like? It's just because that's where news comes from, or Sky News. Like where else are you gonna get really.
The thing is, like realistically, news now I'd say it's more like what's like driven on social media. Do you know what I mean? Like. If we're all talking about something on social media, then they're going to start reporting because that's what people are interested in. And everyone knows, like, most people our generation are going to social media to get information.
I hear that.
So then, if you're going to social media to get information, essentially the news becomes redundant, and they've realised that. So they're like, now if we report what they're putting on social media, then there might be like links for them to come back. Like at the moment, I'm like, I only watch Channel 4 News in it because from when I was watching like protest stuff, I was like, they're like reporting what I'm seeing on social media in it. So.
But that's because Channel 4 are more liberal, I'd say, in the way they report.
I feel like they care less about what the government thinks. Just from what I've seen, like the reports seem to be like a bit more high.
Obviously, the BBC is
it's meant to be impartial. Like
it's not. It's not.
Of course, it's not. Obviously, like
they take.
It's in their favour for like the government is still supporting their the licensing and stuff. They're going to be a bit more like, let me not cuss the government too much. Let me remain impartial.
It's just mad the way as well because I'm not even going to go back to all of this, but. Not even the Wiley situation, that's an example, but the way they reported on the whole anti-Semitism thing in the Labour Party, while ignoring the Boris Johnson situation with.
They would bring it up and they would be like such a blowover thing. They would be like, oh yeah, Boris Johnson calls someone like Muslim ladies letterboxes, black people picking these or whatever. But they would just literally say it as like a passing comment. When it came to Jeremy Corbyn, they like fully reported it, like, oh, why is he not stamping out like anti-Smith? But
you see with this Greece thing, like what? Surely now it's come to light if it is true, which I feel like it is true.
Yeah.
There will be. I don't know, but what happened to them after? Did they get?
That's what I'm saying.
They drown or what? Like.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't understand. That's what I don't understand. Is why would you then go? Like who's? I can't remember what we were saying now, but like whose water do they drop them in? Because if they dropped them in outside of like the Greece,
like international waters, whatever it is,
then like why has no one else picked up on that? Aren't you meant to be like bordering that? And then if you drop them there, like gone off. And then going back to collect them, like why would you do that? Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense.
It says this I saw this report is saying basically they're putting them in inflatable boats and sailing them to the edge of its territorial waters and then just abandoning them. Basically, that's what the situation is.
And then all they have to, but if they turn back around and say territorial waters, they got to go collect them again. Do you know what I mean?
But like, what I don't on a like just a human level, like why would you take an order like that from someone? Like if your superior says to you, go and put these children, these people into an inflatable boat and with a life jacket and just put them out to sea, then it's their problem. Are you gonna do that?
Personally, no. But then I'm not in that position. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know.
You don't know what the government are doing.
I hear that, but like,
so that's like saying, what's it like?
But no,
I don't know. I feel like when you're not in that situation, it's easy to make that assumption. Like realistically, I don't think I'd ever do that.
That is sending someone to their death, basically.
Yeah.
That is, you are fully aware of what you're about to do when you're doing that. So how can I don't understand what the situation is there if they're being threatened or whatever, but
yeah,
that's a very mad thing to do.
Yeah, I agree with that. But then, yeah, I just think in situations like I feel like everyone's done stuff in situations where they're like, why have I done that? Like you might not even realise what they're doing. Like they might just tell you, oh, put them in this thingy. There'll be someone on the You don't know what they said to them.
That's true.
Realistically, they probably haven't said anything to them. Probably like the people that have done it. Obviously, there's people that probably have gone against them. Like if it is true that they've said like do this, there's probably people that are like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Job. However, like you can't. You know, some people literally just don't care.
Well, obviously, apparently it's been going on for a while as well, like a few months.
Yeah. Well, we can't even say how could you do that because realistically, like you're kind of judging the Greek people, but then look at what the UK, like we said, the BBC just out there, they sent boats out there to film people whilst the boat was drowning instead of pulling them off. Like, I think they might have done it in the end, or they called like the coast guards, but still, either way, like.
I saw an interview from some guy who rang up, you know, LBC.
Yeah, love the one.
He rang up and he was like, yeah, I just don't like migrants. Basically, I don't want. That's the main reason I voted Brexit. The main reason I voted Tory.
Yeah.
So obviously they know, like They obviously know by spinning this story, it's going to take the focus of coronavirus and bring it back to.
The government and the news don't release anything. Like you always see people saying like, oh, they must have done something wrong. Like, why have they released this now?
Yeah.
And I get why they've done that. Like I get why people think that because it's mad when something's like big happening. You see how they know like something else they pulled up. Do you know what I mean? Like with coronavirus, like you see how they were slating like Italy and stuff. Like they were laughing like the rest of Europe's face, and then it started coming back to us.
Yeah.
And so you know it was like, oh, quickly, we're not reporting it properly. Like even now they've changed like how they've reported it. So they've cut like 7,000 deaths off. Just because they said, oh, we reported it differently. Yeah.
They've stopped talking about coronavirus now, and I'm hearing there's going to be surges in cases in Europe, so they'll probably start reporting on that, and then
again, they banned like Netherlands and all those kinds of places. However, the UK still ain't doing any good. Do you know what I mean?
The UK is the worst.
The thing is, personally for me, all the European countries, I think are doing it wrong because I don't understand why you're opening the country when your cases have gone down and that means it's still out there. Obviously, it's always still be out there, but do you mean like
opening your country? How like what to?
Like, what? Yeah.
I hear that.
Like, but they even look at the UK like, why are we here right now? Like technically, if it's that bad, you shouldn't be here. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, yeah, but they don't care.
That's what I'm saying.
They're not going to lock down the country again either.
Yeah, I think they will lock it down when they have no other choice.
They won't. They'll just lie about cases because they don't. We're going into a recession.
Yeah, but there's only long that you can lie about cases.
True, because
if it's hitting everyone's family, then like, well, that's not right, innit? Like, they can't lie about it for that long. And I think at the end of the day, they realise that if everyone's sick, ain't nobody working. So
true.
There's no point. There's no like. It makes no sense for the government to like lie for a long period of time about it. Like they might lie now and be like, oh, there's less cases and.
The maddest thing is we could have been so much better if we just sorted it earlier.
Yeah, obviously.
But
like there was no reason like it. My thing is like not even a rude way. I don't understand why it left Asia. If that makes sense. To be fair, I get why. I don't get why the Chinese, when they knew it, they didn't stop people like traveling because they were still letting some of their people travel.
When it first came out when we were at uni, I was like, nah, it's not even gonna come. Like, I remember the first people getting taken back on some big coach, innit? Like 2 coaches full of people that were
not ferry, what do you call it? Cruise ship.
Yeah, and then obviously I was like, nah, that's just them. It won't come any further, and then before you know it, like what?
Well, to be fair, I thought if it gets here, like I thought, oh, they'll sort it. Like, surely I would have been like, oh, you just banned. Not in a rude way, like when Trump was like, oh, we're banning people traveling from China. I was like, I don't agree with Trump most of the time, but I was like, that makes sense because if that's where the virus comes,
Yeah,
like you're containing it, that
course.
makes sense. Not like
Don't let anyone in. Not like in a bad way. Don't let anyone in.
Or like if you're letting people in, check them. But like even people, I was at a restaurant the other day and like there was a Spanish guy and I was in the bathroom who was saying like when he came back from Spain, like he was getting temperature checks and everything there, but like still when he comes to the UK there was no checks, it was just like walk through. And there's people even saying like, you know when they did the first day where you had to like put down like where you've flown from and you quarantined for 40 days, people were like even on the news there were people just walking through like there's nowhere. Like, you don't know how stuff to.
You're gonna like
if you're not implementing it, you can tell people they can stay in the house 14 days and people might do it, but if there's no one there to check in people's temperature, like surely that would be the first thing you do. Like everyone gets to the plane, they're in queue to go through like customs.
Yeah.
That queue's gonna be packed anyway. You don't know where people come from. That's when people start mixing from planes, isn't it?
I hear that, but like obviously with the quarantine, no one's gonna do that. Let's be real.
That's what I'm saying.
If they don't feel ill, it's gonna be alright, cool. I didn't get it.
But my thing, I don't know.
They're not gonna do it.
Personally, if I did it, like they say, like you're meant to put it down and do like random visit, they probably won't. But
that's like
personally,
TV,
me though, like
the TV
licensing. Yeah, but I think it's different. Like I feel like personally, as you were saying, like you know, you were like, oh, what about Greece? Like, you have a conscience to do that. If you don't know if you've got corona, like you're basically saying, like, do you not have conscience?
Yeah, people are selfish. Like that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Even myself, I've probably done things.
That's what I'm saying. So like, you can't then. You know, you're questioning like the Greek.
You can't. That's not the same.
No, it is. It is kind of the same.
Let's be real. That's not.
That is
throwing people.
But my point is, well, yeah, you're throwing people in the sea, and that could be the death sentence. But you then go into a shop, and you don't know you've got corona now, but you refuse to quarantine. Exactly. You go and touch every bit of bread that's there. Cough on some next woman. She gets corona and dies. That's
not the same as throwing someone in the sea, but that's literally like knowingly.
But then
looking that guy in the eye and being like, yeah, I'm.
But then you're knowingly looking at someone in the eye and not knowing if you've got corona and going to the shop. But what I'm saying, like, everyone's making decisions that they probably like. There's better decisions to be made. You know, you come back from holiday and you're meant to quarantine for 14 days. That's the law. Yeah. You've broken it.
Yeah, but you've broken it. Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
you've had no conscience
the law, but like you're not breaking the law in the sense where you're throwing people in the sea.
Yeah, so you also might have corona and give it to someone, and that person dies.
Might do. That's like a 50-50. Whereas this don't actually know him.
But then someone could argue that's 50-50 because there might be someone on the other end to come get them.
They know that that's.
But I'm saying, like you can't then question like someone else's thinking because if you're comfortable, just like that's what I'm saying. Everyone's mind thinks differently. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't then. Personally, I'm not gonna go on a boat and be like, cool, I'm just letting you leave you in the sea and turn around. Like, that's pretty heartless. But also, I'm not also gonna know if I come back from a holiday, I can get away with not quarantining.
Nah, I get you. It's selfish, but people aren't gonna stop doing it. Like, let's be real.
That's what I'm saying.
It's gonna be a problem for a while.
Yeah, obviously.
Like British people in general, like, they're very stubborn. Like they're not gonna. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not gonna stop.
They're very selfish. Like you can tell that.
Like the whole thing with like as soon as bars, restaurants open up, like it's out there. Like you can't take away what I'm doing. I'm gonna go out here.
I say British people, but I suppose that in like some respects, we'll go to other countries and they'll be like, oh yeah, you feel like Western culture. Do you know what I mean? Like I think personally, like because obviously we've grown up in Britain, like we can't then establish like. Although I say I'm black, I'm like, oh yeah, there's certain things I wouldn't do. However, no matter what happens, like you're still indoctrinated into like the culture. Like at some point, there's gonna be things where you do like the mere fact that when we go on holiday, we expect everyone to speak English to us. Like, stuff like that. So I think British people as like I think not even British people, I think Western people and like European, I suppose, are very.
I'll say we're the worst. I can't lie in terms of like on your point about expecting people to speak English. We're definitely the worst. Like just in general, the way that I see British people come to other countries and disrespect everything about them.
Yeah, everything.
Whereas when other people come here, by and large,
that's what I'm saying. I think it's not even just British people. I think it's anywhere that Britain touch. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like Britain touched loads of places. That's also
everywhere.
Do you know what I mean? Like the ones where they've touched and like look at how they treat like the Aborigines in Australia. Yeah. But the Aborigines are the ones that are in Australia. Do you know what I mean? Like they tell people like they put them in such shit places and they're like, I'll get out of our country. And how they're so strict on people who now go to Australia. But they shouldn't be in there in the first place. Like you can't be strict where you shouldn't be along. Yeah.
That's the same as America.
That's why you just run over to China and be like, oh no.
The US is the same.
That's what I'm saying. But who went to the US as well? The British.
I know that. They're just there's a what a
That's what I'm saying. So it's very like Western cultures, and when I'm saying Western, I also mean like includes like Australia.
They're part of it by default.
I mean that's my also thing. Like I don't understand with the asylum seekers. I will never understand why they like think it's such a big deal. Like I'm baffled as how it's come out. I don't think that like cases have increased. I think they screwed something up. They screwed the A levels up and that lot. Funny how it all came out at the same time. They screwed a lot of things up.
True,
so like,
true.
what do they know that the British people love to hate? Immigration.
You're right.
Who's now like, oh, I don't think it might have spiked, to be fair, a bit, but I also don't think the French will stop it. Like personally, you know how they're like, oh, the French people need to help us and stop letting them.
I've heard France are taking in a lot of people anyway.
Yeah, but if you wanted someone out of your country and you saw them get on a dinghy to go to another country, are you gonna be there like, oh, I'm gonna stop them so they don't get through? Or you just sit there like, calm, that's less out of our country. You're gonna let them go in it. So I don't understand their logic.
Really and truly, more time we are the ones that have caused them to want to leave their country.
Yeah.
So we are
probably all the time, isn't it?
Pretty much what, like 80-90% of countries that have problems.
Well, they were Syrian, weren't they? And who went over there and bombed it up?
Yeah, exactly.
UK and America.
Really, we can't really complain. They can't. I'm not complaining about asylum. I don't care.
Yeah,
a lot of people do.
You can't then be like, I've seen people like, what is it like? Oh yeah, but then they won't be taking your jobs, but your healthcare, this. Almost like, I don't think that do.
It's not. It's
when they come to the UK and like you've seen the guy that was Syrian, like came here as a asylum seeker. The news will start reporting it, and it's like, oh, he came as an asylum seeker, and now he's becoming a doctor. Like he's gone to Cambridge to become a doctor.
I've seen that. Yeah.
And as you know, they're all championing him.
It's the same with the AJ thing though, and the Lewis Hamilton one. When they're doing something for, like, when the UK have done something for them, like we brought him in, we did this, it's a good thing. Or like AJ Williams, like, oh, he's winning this for us.
British,
We've trained him up, but then as soon as, I'm sure this doctor might speak out and be like, but oh, look at what the UK did to my country. Everyone's be like, nah, this guy, get this. Where's he from?
Who?
The asylum seeker that's going to Cambridge.
Oh, sorry.
They'll be like, get the Syrian guy out of here, cancel him now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just they expect.
I don't understand how like this is what I'll never understand about British people. When I say British people, I mean like it's not normally like us that have like parents that are immigrant. It's normally like the ones that think they're like British through and through, or like they claim to different countries, Ireland. Like do you know what I mean? It's them that are like, oh, don't let them come over here. But like at some point, if your family, you're like, imagine like if you're Irish and you come, your family's okay and you claim an island, why does your family come over here? Like you can't.
To be fair though, with Irish people, a lot of them had a lot of hard times when they came.
Yeah, I'm saying, but like again, for example, like say for instance you're Scottish, you're claiming another country. Then like you can't. I don't understand how you can begrudge someone for wanting to seek themselves a better life.
Yes, well,
and like if anything, you should be honoured that they think this country. Not like in my opinion, this country would be where I'm running to. But the fact that you think this country is that good, like surely you'd have like something like, oh yeah, we're actually such a great nation that will come to help. Since you claim your like and they claim the empire so much.
Yeah.
Which I think is mad. Like I never understand. Like I've always said, like when I hear it on the news and they're like, oh, the British Empire, I'm thinking like, why are you like, why is that a good claim? That's like claiming slavery and be proud of it. Like
you
know, the British Empire wasn't
because, as we talked about last week, it's because people have been conditioned to think that what they did was a good thing.
That's what I'm saying.
But like you see,
but had you not gone to these countries and troubled these people, they wouldn't now want to become here.
Yeah, of course.
You complain about like the Windrush thing, but why did you go to the Caribbean?
Yeah,
to make some money, and now they want to come for a better life. You don't want them to have a better life.
I saw some guy that was ranting about how Churchill was amazing and like the British Empire and
Oh, was it like I don't know,
just some like
white guy?
Joey Essex.
Yeah.
That guy was
but
that's because people like that, you got to think like there's a lot of stupid people in this country and they believe anything that they're told, especially at school, and then what they're told after that, they believe it all, and that's why.
But I'm not gonna give him a pass.
He genuinely thinks that this guy was an amazing person. Like
because then even in that video he was saying like, I think if it's the same guy, he was like he did do like enslaving and stuff.
Yeah.
But we can't change the past, but now we must honour his past. Do you know what I mean? Like and we'll all be speaking German. That doesn't even make sense as well.
He's like, we wouldn't be.
They
here
went to
today.
Poland. I was like, speaking German now, aren't they?
No, but he was saying like, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for this guy. He's like, you would be here today. That guy would be here today.
Who?
The white don that was talking about.
And even if he wouldn't, he would know. He would know. It wouldn't make a difference.
But he would be. His family are. He's like what? He had blonde hair, blue eyes anyway.
Yeah, so but we don't know. He could be like what? He could be like from Sweden. They have blonde hair, blue eyes. You don't.
They would have been.
But either way, like it would make a difference. If you don't know you're going to be somewhere, like his point was like you can't change the past. Like just ignore the past. It don't matter if you'll be here today or not. Then in that case.
True, but what I'm saying is like these people like they generally just. Like
but I'm not going to give them a pass. Like, come on.
Actually, they wouldn't even have been affected by the Nazis winning the war because if they had done, they would have been living probably the same life anyway. Just under.
They wouldn't know the difference. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying.
You wouldn't know the life you live. But if the Nazis had taken over the whole world,
it only would have affected us. It wouldn't have affected these guys. So
Yeah, but even if they're like, oh, Hitler wanted the Aryan race. I'm not being funny, like, I wouldn't know. Because he would have eradicated me by now. Do you know what I mean? Like, so the fact that I know that he wasn't a good guy, then doesn't, do you know what I mean? You can't then, like, because I'm sure everyone that were, like, in Germany that thought Hitler was great would now look back at him like, oh, crap, he wasn't. But there was something that, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you can't then, like, oh, just ignore the history.
Yeah.
But you don't want to ignore the Germans that, like, if there's someone's family was, like, part of the Nazi thing, you wouldn't ignore that, would you? He would bring that up. He's the kind of person that would bring that up. Like, oh, look at your family's history. But now,
if you went in his family history as well, he'd have.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So now you want to know that. You can't. But that's pick and choose what you know from the past.
This is why I don't really argue with like racist people anymore, because like it's like talking to someone that like I can't even understand their thought.
They're just mentally incapable.
There's no point even trying to justify it or explain to them what you believe, because they physically cannot understand.
Personally, I think we should just do what that guy did with the trainer and deafen them all.
That was a good hit, but that's what I don't. The thing is that more time you're gonna get in trouble yourself from doing something like that.
Nah, I'm always happy to do something.
Well, I know.
I would not be embarrassed if I was in the courthouse on Monday for beating someone up.
I'm not trying to go to prison for some guy like that. Do you know what I'm saying? This is long.
It is what it is, isn't it? It's the UK. You'll be out of what? 2 months good behaviour. It's calm.
I'm not ever going to prison. Never. Yeah. Not for that. Not for that. What he's doing.
I don't think they're gonna get in trouble. Let's be real.
They had masks on. You can't identify them anyway. But
he said his name anyway, so if they get in trouble, he was being racist, which
he's going. So. He probably will get in trouble. He'll lose his job.
I need more than lose. I need him to go. Actually, I didn't want.
Unless he's got his own like business or whatever, which he probably does for like I don't know workshops. I don't know.
That guy.
Yeah, a lot of these people are like
I know he doesn't have a job.
They work in like construction.
I know
a lot of these people do.
I know he doesn't. He probably works in like a supermarket. I know he doesn't. I know he doesn't have a job.
He'll keep his job, especially if it's in like some low-key area that's.
But like, I don't think he's not going to get in trouble with DK. Like we've watched Katie Hopkins be racist. What happened to her? Boris Johnson, our Prime Minister, has been racist. What has happened to him? He became like the most powerful person in the UK.
Yeah.
That's why racists right now are like comfortable, because they've seen all these people that have been racist get away with it. Like one of the worst racists, Boris Johnson, is in power. But look at Preet herself. He's bloody Asian herself. But
I can't believe that. I wouldn't let me not get started on her, because that is absolutely. Like,
I can't remember what I saw. But
under her, what she wants, her parents would have been deported.
But did I not say anything? Her dad was in part of UKIP. Her dad. That's why I sent you this, isn't it? Her dad was part of UKIP. So, if anything, she's probably the best one in the family.
How can you be part of UKIP?
That's what I'm saying. As anyone that's not
person of colour in this country.
Yeah. But then there's black people in UKIP.
I can't lie to you, I know a few people that my mum knows like that kind of support those kinds of things like. But black people do.
Yeah. I don't know. I suppose, like, you can't just say because of the colour of your skin you can't support that.
It literally doesn't benefit you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, possible. Like, logically, like, you're thinking about it, they don't want immigrants. But then, like, even Nigel Farage didn't make sense himself. Like, him and Trump don't make sense. They both got wives from different countries. But you want to control how the Europeans.
Yeah, because their logic, that's the whole thing though, with racism and, like, xenophobia, discrimination, anything, like, it doesn't
it's not logical.
It's not logical, that's why.
That's what I'm saying. Hitler hated himself because he didn't have blonde hair.
Yeah, they can justify one thing, but that makes complete sense in their mind.
That's what I'm saying.
But in someone else, in any.
So that's what I'm saying. But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know any black people that support that kind of thing. I've heard black people say stuff I'm like even on the BBC, like I heard someone say.
There's a lot of stuff I want to say because I don't even want to talk about these people anymore. But you see that there's a girl that is always on. I always see her popping up. Not so much now. She's probably been like written off or cancelled or whatever. She always like tweets about Tories, like conservatives and Brexit and like why are black people complaining all the time? But she's black herself.
I always saw someone say like as a like I suppose it goes, they put it as black people, but like it goes to anyone like as long as if you self hate yourself like for the white people, you'll be successful in it. And that's true. Like any black person, like you see what like Kanye West will say some mad shit about black people.
Yeah, and white people. That's the same with like even being silent. To be honest, like with you see, like I was talking to you about Travis Scott a little bit because during the Black Lives Matter, I didn't really hear him talk too much about that.
Yeah.
But obviously, most of his fan base, at least 50%, is like probably white, so it's kind of.
He's done what a lot of people.
It's beneficial to him to not say anything, basically.
Yeah.
Well, I don't rate that, but obviously,
there's a lot of people that is beneficial. There's a lot of black people that have been beneficial to, like that's because
there's John Barnes as well. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the A levels and how that's been dealt with. To be honest, that's
Yeah, that's nice.
obviously a hot topic right now. Obviously from like I don't get like how I think the most unfair thing obviously is they've done it by demographic where you live, isn't it? And what school you go to.
So I think that's. I feel like that's the thing. I think it's so confusing to understand. Because I did hear someone saying like, if you're from like a poor area, you're going to go down. But I don't think they've looked at it and be like, oh, because you're from Peckham. Well,
they do.
I think it's because I think it's because they would say like, if anything, I don't know. But I also think it's like because they look at your school's previous results. If that makes sense. So imagine I'm an A star
but
student.
it's more likely that if you're
that's
from
what I'm saying.
private area, your school's not going to be.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
but that's what I'm saying. I don't think like they've actually got areas of like, oh, because you're from like Peckham or you're from Croydon or you're from Reading or you're from here. That your grade's got to be lower. I think it's because it just affects them because obviously if you're poorer, you don't normally go to like private school or your school. Do you mean the school you might not be doing the best? You're gonna fall down. That's just normally because the areas they're in. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I just don't like.
So I think I don't understand how like you look at the school's previous grades. Because say for instance now I'm like an A-star student and my school's in special measures. My grade's gone because of the school I'm at.
Why would you not just give people their predicted grades?
Yeah.
Or
I kind of get it, and to the point of like,
that's at least
because if you, but I wouldn't like, if you were gonna do that, you just don't need to tell the teachers that's what you're gonna do, innit? You should say like market fair, and then we'll get like because obviously if anything, if it's in my favour as a teacher, if my class is failing, I've got the proper class up like, well, let me overestimate. They probably would only get a D, but let me put like a C or a B.
Yeah.
And if I know they're gonna give me like predicted, that's how I look like a great teacher right now.
Nah, but like we're predicted, like obviously, I don't know, maybe the ones from their year 12, I don't know, but then people do things like for me, even at uni and school, like I didn't bother doing work until it came to.
That's what I'm saying. My A level. If I had my A level predicted, like I always said, like thank God that's not me because I would have been screwed. Because my A level predicted, I think I failed every single one of my mocks.
I was gonna get kicked out of sixth form in year 12 because the guy that taught me history A level said I was gonna get a U when I actually got.
That's what I'm saying. Bare people were like, so what forced to drop thing.
I fully would have been like they threatened it, even though he was predicting something that was how many grades. What's like U, F, E, D, C, like 4 or 5 grades difference. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So there's a whole like discrimination.
I don't think they could have done it fairly in any way, which that's what I mean. Like, I think at this point the uni should have stepped in as well. I think they should all work together and be like, right, so the A level students here, like obviously it's gonna be hard, but we'll give you some predicted grades. Like I don't know, like.
I think they should have.
But like for Oxford and Cambridge, I'm pretty sure because I remember when I was in school and there was a girl. There was only one person from my A level. It wasn't even, she was the year above.
Yeah.
She was like applying for Oxford and Cambridge and had to do a separate like test.
Yeah.
Surely if you have to do that test anyways, like just take their prediction on face value and then when they do that test, they best that test up then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like the 11 plus test when you want to go to grammar school. Like you can take what the teacher says, but until they go into that test and they mess it up.
Yeah, you can't really know it for sure.
I can't remember I saw it. I think there's a statistic that like boys do better in exams.
Probably because more so, I don't know.
But I think like even if it's not even boys, like even like I think for me, I work hard when I know there's actually a reason to work hard. Do you know what I mean? Like,
a lot of my friends.
All my mocks are happy. I've never passed mocks. Like okay.
A lot of my friends, obviously, I went to all boys school. And obviously my boys at uni as well.
Yeah.
They won't work into it. Even like probably you, I know you yourself.
Yeah.
I lived with all you lot. Like finally, anyone I've lived with, they obviously when it comes to exams, they try. But more time I'm seeing you miss your 9 a.m. not necessarily, but
like, I know what you mean. Like not doing that.
Like not going to lectures, but then when it comes down to so that's most people.
And that's the thing, people put in the work hard. Yeah, I think that's everyone. I don't think everyone's working consistently hard throughout the whole year. Like even smart kids that like always get A's, they work a little bit harder when it comes to exams.
Of course.
Because essentially, like you normally have like 2-3 hours max to how improve your whole.
How would you have done it if it was?
That's what I'm saying. Like I can't say how I would have done it, but I would have probably said like let the teachers give the predicted grade, and then maybe look at like the average. Like does the school do better? I wouldn't even go by class. Like cool, does the school done better? Okay, maybe that's a bit unfair.
Yeah. Because
but then like don't they moderate anyways to normal exams? Like what is it that they give? I think coursework, isn't it? And then the teacher had like they randomly select certain people from that class and do moderation. Surely you would look at that. I don't know.
For me, I think.
But I'd probably be more.
You're going to disappoint someone, whatever you do. Because someone, as we just talked about, someone's always going to work harder 2 weeks or a month before their exams. You're always going to disappoint someone that maybe.
And that's what I'm saying. But they didn't have a chance. Like, do you know what I mean? Like for us, we never went into mocks thinking, "Oh, this is going to be my final grade." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Realistically, my predicted grades were always higher than my mocks. Even at like GCSE, I was predicted much higher grades than I actually got in the end, anyways. It might have like worked out well for me because to be fair, so my cousin's like A level and I don't know what she got, but I saw her friend post on like Facebook, she got into like the school she wanted to. But that's because the school I went to for like secondary was like quite like revered. Oh, it's a really great school in this town. It's like the best school in this town. Oh, like it would be like the school where if you couldn't afford private or your parents just didn't want to put you for private, they would put you into that school. So like realistically, like if you're that lucky, like just technically maybe me, I might have been fine on the team just because of the school I went to. However, for my like sixth school, I don't actually know where it was. Like in league tables, but I might have been affected by it. So
you can't really. That's unfair though.
Yeah, I wouldn't have looked at like. I get like taking into account like maybe a 1% of looking at like what the school previously did. However, you don't know what that year was like. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone that year, like probably not, but like they might just not understood the work you were giving them. But the year below might have understood it perfectly.
I think it might be. I think the only thing. I think they said Northern Ireland they're gonna give their students their predicted grades or something, but I don't know if that's what GCSEs, but that's what I think the fairest way to do it is just to give predicted grades.
That's my thing. Yeah, that's what I would probably done.
Because there's no other. You can't really. I know.
And I think that's when like. I think to be fair, yeah, predicted grades. Because then that's you look at like the teachers and the government and who they're hiring to be the teachers. Because if you don't trust your teachers enough to be like truthful and honest, then do you know what I mean? They need to overhaul the whole school system because teachers shouldn't be getting like ridiculously scared that now they've got a chance. Because I swear all teachers, even like so GCSE geography, I dropped drama because I just want that as a mess. I was happy to fail that. So geography, it must have been like the second or third week we were doing like when you go up and teach like this your predicted grade. I went up and he was just like I think you'll struggle to even get a D. So basically like I'm predicting an E. He's like I'm gonna put you down to C because obviously I can't put that down and let your parents see you predicting an E. Which I was like that's mad that he said that. But do you know what I mean? Like he simply did that. That's what bare teachers are gonna do, isn't it? Like they don't want to look bad in front of their colleagues. They don't want to look bad to your parents. And then, do you know what I mean?
I hear that, but I'm saying.
But then really, that's why I think you shouldn't put the pressure on the teachers.
You should be doing predicted grades based on academic performance and nothing else, or like or previous or what.
It's hard because like personally, I feel like by a lot of teachers, isn't it? So a lot of a teacher might know that now they can like. Shouldn't do, but like they're paid as fuck anyway. It's like he's like, well, he's my favourite. I don't think he would actually have got an A, but he might have got a B. But I really like him. He works hard. Let me just put down A. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
So I think that is realistically like it will always start to failure anyways because there's no way you don't trust the teachers. Like most students don't trust teachers anyways. Do you know what I mean? It's clear that some teachers have favouritism. Like I'm sure even when your parents go in, like that teacher doesn't like you. Like, do you know what I mean?
Of course.
So I think they need to change that whole system. But yeah, at this moment in time, I'll just give them a predicted grade. Because realistically, that's the only like. I think most kids were happy with their predicted grades, isn't it? But then, like, do you know what I mean? And that's when the uni should have stepped in and be like, right.
If you care about yourself going to uni and your academic future, because a lot of these kids are upset about obviously I know there's apprenticeships etc. If you care, I think you should have probably worked hard towards your mocks anyway. Do you know what I mean? That's an argument.
No, you can't really say that.
You can though, because if you care, especially the kids.
You just said like you didn't work hard for your mocks.
I hear that, but you see the tweets where like, I should have got A like that, and then they would have worked hard. They worked their mocks. If their mock said A, predicted A, then they should get A. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So to be fair, I just think because I saw some girl that was like predicted. I can't remember which. I tweeted about it and she was predicted like AAB. Yeah. She got like DDE.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. The thing is, the two. And there was another one that I can't remember what she got. I think she was predicted like AA. I think 3 A's again. And I think she got BCC, which doesn't make sense. So if 1 A is predicted equals a B, then it didn't make sense to me, innit? But you can't really say like because someone's mocked. I think if you're mock and you're predicted like match, then just give it. Yeah. But then, however, for me, like I said, if I went for my mocks and my predicted, so my predicted was like B's and C's, like I think 1 A in media or something. I got like I think maybe like a C, D, E. Yeah. Then you gave me an English like but then I still went to uni. You can't then say like, do you know what I mean? You can't then be like I hear that, but I think. But then again, most teachers, I just think they should have left mocks out of it for most people anyway.
Once given
because no one goes into a mock thinking that's going to be their final grade.
Yeah, but I feel like the ones that are serious, like the ones.
Yeah, but if you're serious, you're probably not that affected by this.
Well, I'm seeing a lot of people.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but like. Some people would argue if you're serious, you're not going to be affected by it. I'm saying you are, but that's what I'm saying. Like their algorithm didn't work. Like if someone's got A's, if you just predicted A's and they predicted their mocks. If
you gave a predicted grade, then and they had their predicted grades and their mocks.
But then, however, there's kids that for their mocks might just because bear in mind when you do your mocks is normally January. Yeah. And you started A levels obviously a bit different, GCSE and stuff. But you might have only started part of that unit that you now have got assessed on a few months ago. You can't then, because someone hasn't understood that, haven't like grabbed it in that free, like, do you mean?
There's not any perfect way.
But I think that's what I'm saying. Like someone's always gonna be upset. Like even if they gave everyone their predicted grades and everyone got like A's, there's gonna be like people that got A's that were like, I actually worked hard for it, but now this person like, so you're never gonna please everyone. You can always like make people, even if everyone got great grades, there's gonna be people at the top that got great grades as well. Like, well, that person didn't deserve because they didn't work as hard as me. Like you said that about uni, like I said, I deserved the first, but this person that worked harder than me, why have got the same grades? Do you mean like? I think just being fair, but then again, like uni should step in. I saw somewhere like I think it was Oxford and Cambridge saying like, I think you might have said this actually. They were saying they're not gonna like not take anyone else. Like we will grade you got this, what we've got, which is unfair because obviously they're the people that are properly like designed. Yeah, you might be from a wealthy background, but now you've missed out. But they're not gonna give you a chance, like because again they still have to do a separate test for that. Surely you would just then send like, do you know what I mean like?
Take that as the.
Like even if they could like, especially at uni, like they made all our exams online. Why can't they now go make their like entrance test online?
I hear that.
Do you know what I mean? If it's that deep, like you can't then because if that's anything, that's selective. Like, and they said everyone from like private schools done so much better. Do you know what I mean? Like,
of course they're gonna do.
But they always like the thing is, I saw someone saying like oh you can't pretend like private schools. I can't remember what the tweet was. Basically saying like everyone knows like private schools are basically they're disadvantaged other people, which I'm like it's true. Like to be fair, I never thought of it in that way, but I was like true because I've always known like I don't know if I would, but I said if I had the money to send my kids to private school, I probably would because I'm like cool. I know they're gonna get like the better grades. You know what I mean? So you know it's there as to like create an unequal advantage. That's what they said. It was an unequal advantage, but it's well accepted. But it's true. Like, I get that. Like, do you mean?
But that's the unfair thing about it.
But then, like for the A level things, it's unfair. Do you know what I mean? And to be fair, even like I think private schools, it's always an unfair advantage because even people that are uni. So I was speaking to someone and they were like talking about A level classes, and to be fair, A level got like shorts, like smaller classes, or maybe like 15, 20. They were like, oh yeah, I was 1-3 in my class. So obviously they're gonna get a better grade because that's basically like private tutoring. Do you know what I mean? But
it's what it is. But
I don't think there's any fair way to have done this. Like, realistically, I think right now they just need to overhaul it and realise their whole education system is messed up. Like, why are teachers like they always complain they're not getting enough teachers, but when now you've come to the time to where you should put all your trust in the teacher, like right, can you give a like fair grade? And they could always have like moderation meetings with like the invigilators and whatever, like the moderators like. Right. Well, your previous class had this. Do you think? Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's the case of cutting corners. That's time and energy that they don't want to spend.
That's what I'm saying. But like, realistically, they should like. I get we're all quarantined and stuff, but they can have like they were so big on Zoom meetings. They could have like heads of the English department and some of the teachers and like right, your teacher's given this. However, on their mock they've got this. Their previous class has got this. But some teachers have different sets. Do you know what I mean? Like in my school, like one year they'll have the top set, and then they'll go back to the bottom and start again. So you can't really do that. But then they said, do you think like this is a fair grade to give to the student?
Yeah, they should have.
And they probably should have sat down with the students and said like, right, so this is the grade I'm gonna like send to the exam board saying you predicted. Do you think it's fair? Why is it not? Can you give me another piece of work that I can now judge on? But they didn't. Obviously, this is all time consuming, but they've had since March to April.
But this is people's future, so I think
that's what I'm saying.
Be a case of
time consuming, but
it's worth it.
At the end of the day, you put so much pressure on the students now, it's gonna be their future. You can't now be like, oh,
no, I hear that.
Cool. Just leave them out. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want them to be adults, you've got to treat them like an adult. I think people are realistic. Like, if a teacher came up to me and like, Luke, I'll predict you an A. Like, if you over predicted me, I'm probably not gonna say anything. Let's be real. Like, if you predict me an A, I'm not gonna get like, a B. I'd be like, fair. I'm not gonna say anything. But if you've unpredicted me, I would happily be like, right, well, let me prove that I can get this grade.
Yeah.
They never gave the like students a chance. Because realistically, it shouldn't have taken that long for the algorithm to work from March to August. Why are they still releasing in August if that's what the case? I said like surely by like April, May you should be able to release it. I said if you're not happy with it, before even uni found out, I mean they should have said right, cool, here's your chance to retake. This. They should have set it up differently. I don't understand why they waited from March. Just let the kids sit at home.
We're talking about a government led by Boris Johnson, so it's not that surprising.
Yeah, but even if it's the government, like no one stepped up. Do you know what I mean? Like no one from Labour stepped up to say like why are you not doing it?
True. But
no one from like
why would they want to help?
Yeah, but why wouldn't you want to help?
From other parties.
My thing is, these people you want to vote for you, but now I've seen you haven't helped me.
People just think that don't vote for Tories or the Conservatives again. They'll just look at it that way. I
look at what the Conservatives
they've done that to me. I'm like, I'm not going to vote for you.
Well, we say that, but then like all I saw on Twitter, like, obviously it's depending who you follow. Even when the elections come up, like, I don't think Conservatives. Why do they get a majority? That don't make sense to me. Like if we're all not voting for them, and my family's not voting for them, my family don't mess with these people. Next thing you know, the Conservatives are in. Like, do you know what I mean?
There's a lot of people obviously that are not on social to Yeah, I'm saying. Yeah, episode 2. Obviously.